And while writing the script of this video, there was a kind of thought that came in my mind, on which like I thought, okay, it will be a lot of better if I'm going to discuss about some other person's philosophy once per week. So from on, I'm going to make a different playlist in which like I'm going to discuss about the philosophies of other persons. Okay, so and this is the first video of that playlist in which like I'm going to discuss the philosophies. It can be the philosophies from the persons who were lived about like 2000 years ago, that is Marcus Aurelius, to the persons who are living today. Okay, really see, okay, what are the really things that we can implement, or even though what are the things that we can implement or practice in our daily life. And that is why I have started this channel as well. Okay, so I do want to learn something in which like that is going to make myself better, or in which like I can practice those kind of things on a daily basis, so overall I am going to be better as well. Okay, so that is I can say one of the main reason that I have started this channel. And there are some of the things that Marcus Aurelius done differently from other persons, okay, from other emperor, and that is why we all admire Marcus Aurelius till today, even though he lived almost ago, like how much it was, about like 2000 years. Okay, and even though it has been 2000 years, okay, his writing are still relevant to this day. Okay, so I can really make the practical use as the same way he did, and probably it will going to give me the same outcome as well. So there is nothing that is changed, I can say that as well. Okay, and he had this kind of habit in which like he loved to write. Okay, so not for the like printing purposes or not for the like audiences, but for himself. Okay? And he was the emperor of the Rome, and what I can say, he was the one of the most powerful person on this planet as well. And if he really want, like he can clothe himself with all humanly possible pleasures. Okay, and there is no one to stop him as well, because who is going to stop the like world most powerful person? Okay, there is no one. But instead of that, okay, even though having a lot of positions, even though having a lot of power, okay, he never let those kind of powers or positions get in his head. And that is one of the main reason like why we all describe or why we all admire Marcus Aurelius. But in his meditations, he like repeatedly said that we should all live as nature requires. Okay, so instead of like being comfortable, speaking of comfortable, like if he really want to be comfortable, he can live rest of his life in his comfort. Okay, but instead of that he really helped Rome to get out from the plague. And at that time there was the civil wars as well, and there was the building tension on the border as well. So he had successfully take out Rome from those events. Okay, and he was not the only emperor. Okay, because like before him there will be probably thousands of emperor were there, and after him probably thousands of emperor come as well. But the fact Marcus Aurelius stand on the top of the list is because he was the guy of discipline. Okay, so he has this kind of habit in which he write. Okay, it really doesn't matter whether he was in the comfort of his palace or whether he was having the night at the war. Okay, he tried to steal some of the minutes or some of the seconds, and by writing he really used to remind himself, okay, how I should live, or what are my virtues, and I have to live according to the virtues as well, or I have to live according to the natures that require me. Because of this fact, like he want to remind himself. Okay, that is the one of the main reason there are some of the like lines, or there are some of the sentences that are written and they are like continuously appearing throughout the book. And by continuously reminding himself, okay, how he should act in the good times and how he should act in the bad times. So if he is going through the good times, then probably being more humble, and if he is like going through the, or if he is like passing through the bad times, then probably be a more optimistic, and talking about like life and death and how we really make our life the most that we can make, or how we can get the most from our life, okay, by living in the present moment. So a lot of aspects are there that we can see, and like those are the things that are relevant to now as well. He's continuously teaching us like how we should live our life as well. And from his writing we really get to know, okay, how the Marcus Aurelius was in a person. Because like this is a kind of if I'm going to read the book, then probably I'm going to get a kind of feeling like, okay, I am having the conversations with this guy, even though like that book is about like 2000 years old, or the guy had lived about like 2000 years ago. But there is that kind of feeling like I am really having the conversation, or like the Marcus Aurelius was giving me the advice on how I should live my life and how should I acted on certain situations. So I really get this kind of feeling throughout while reading the books, because I don't know what are the things like that, but it is something like that, okay? Because it is like, okay, I am having the conversations with this guy, even though like we are not in the same time space, or even though he lived way more before than I. And while reading the meditations, okay, there is one of the line that is stand, I really think, because there are a lot of things that are relevant, but this is the line that I really think stand out from a lot of other things, okay? So in this line he had said something like, okay, if you are going to throw the stone in the air, okay, it is going to gain nothing, and if the stone is going to came down again, it loses nothing, okay? So this is the thing that I have like really think about, and I came to the conclusion at this moment. If someone is getting validations, or if someone is getting praise, so that is the stone is getting upward. And if someone is going to get the criticism, or someone is getting a kind of hated in the society, so that is the kind of things that is getting down. But at the core, okay, if we really go into the base, and if we really ask, okay, what is the thing that I have gained, even though that I have get praised by other people, nothing, we are gaining nothing, okay? There is some kind of pleasure, or there is some kind of short term things that are going to be gain, or we feel like, okay, we have gained, and we are going to make ourselves happy on that basis. But if we really go to the like, if I really go into the core, and if I ask myself these questions, what I am going to gain if someone is going to praise me? Nothing. And if we are going to get the praise, then probably we are successful. So this is a kind of thing, or this is a kind of meaning that we have set to ourselves. If I can really separate myself from that delusion, okay, if I really understand this thing, I am neither going to gain nor going to lose anything, even though if I'm going to be praised, or if I'm going to be criticized. And by that way, okay, I am going to do the things that is needed to be done, instead of like getting attentions. That is something that probably I don't want to do, because I already know, even though someone is going to give me attention, even though someone is going to praise me, I have nothing to gain. But if I am going to do the things, probably if I'm going to do the things that nature requires from me, then probably I will going to find myself in a lot of better situation. I am going to find the meaning, and overall I am going to live my life better as well. This kind of things really going to give me the ticket to do whatever I want, because I just eliminate myself from that thing. Now I don't ever care about what others are going to talk about me, or I am not going to fear on, okay, what people are going to talk about me, or if I'm going to do this thing, or if I'm going to do that thing. So I just eliminate myself from those things. So now I'm going to do my thing, and now I'm going to do the things that I want to do, okay, instead of fearing of what others are going to think, or how others are judging me if I'm going to do these things. That is one kind of main fear, okay? So what other are going to think, or what other people are going to think of me if I'm going to do X activity, or if I'm going to do Y activity. And this is how we are going to get the ticket of living the life really freely, okay? Because even though it how stupid may it is going to sound to others, or how absurd it is going to seem to other, okay, regardless, if I really want to do some of the things, I want to do this thing. And actually I have seen this kind of thing, okay?